Tonight we're making gnocchi, and I have my pan here that I'm going to fill up. You can use a deep stock pot. It just depends on how many people you got to feed. So right now I'm just feeding 2 people, but the gnocchi makes a lot, so I'm going to freeze it afterwards. Whatever I don't use, I'll use it for a later meal. So go ahead and fill your pan up halfway with water, like that. Not too full, about halfway, no more than half. I'm going to go set this on the stove and get it ready so we can boil it. Okay. I've already washed my potatoes. I got my 3 potatoes here, and I'm going to give them a deep cut. These are russet potatoes, which don't have a lot of moisture in them. This is what you need, a nice dry potato. And I'm going to show you the reason why next. We use russet because if you use the other ones that has a lot of moisture in it, we don't want a lot of moisture because we're using it for like flour. We're putting flour in it, and we want it to become a dough. We don't want to be too runny. And we don't need a lot of extra flour either. So I'm going to put this on a plate. Isn't that cute? My daughter's boyfriend made this for her. Can you believe that? But I'm going to use it. It's a plate. So here we go. Okay, I'm just set them like that. I need to do, I'm going to start out with 4 minutes and I'm going to check it. A fork should be able to go through it. If it can't, you put it in there for another 4 minutes. All right? So let's put this in the microwave for 4 minutes. While that's going on, let everybody get my cheese ready to go. I need a cup of cheese. Cheese. That's my flour. My cheese here. Now, if you're new to cheeses, I'm just using regular Romano cheese. Nothing real fancy, nothing real too expensive either. So, just right. Up here they got this little tab. I'm noticing this tab on here. I usually use my scissors, but I got this tab that I'm going to use, and I probably only need to cut half of this for a cup. So I'm going to go ahead and slice it while it's in here. Take the big one out, set that to the side, and I'll wrap this up later. You want to wrap these up with paper towels to keep the moisture out of it, and then put it in a Ziploc. Oh, I think it's finally breaking, huh? Okay. Holding it down, and you just want to grate. Just watch your fingers. I've gotten my knuckles a couple times, but you live, you learn. Your mom. If you're a mom, you know the dangers of cooking plenty of times, and it doesn't change as you get older or nothing. You still got to be careful. So we want a cup of cheese. When I say a cup of cheese, I mean like a cup of cheese. So I want You see how much I can still get a little bit more cheese in there, so I'm just going to keep going. One good cup. There you go. That's a good cup. All right. That aside. Ready. Cheese is done. Some pepper, cheese, and then I'm gonna need a cup of flour. So I'm gonna get my cup of flour real quick. And I'm gonna check my potatoes to see. There's my cup of flour. All right, and I need a towel. Okay. Now these have been in here for 4 minutes. I really don't expect them to be done, just because of how big they are. So, as you can see, it's tough to get down in there. That's about as far as I can go. Yeah. 4 more minutes, babes. 4 more minutes. Okay, when they get done, I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Let's check it out for another 4 minutes. So yeah, ooh, that went down real nice. Look how nice that went. Definitely ready. And they're very, very hot right now. So I'm going to take them off this hot plate because I want them to cool down a little bit. Now, some of us moms out here, we have a hot temperature hand. Our hands can hold so much heat for so long. So I would recommend you don't be touching them with your bare hands. Now I got these hot pans from a lady, a friend of mine, a very nice friend of mine. She gave these to me, and I've used them for a long time. What I like to do is just hold the potato in my hand because I'm impatient and I don't want to let them all cool down. So I'm ready to make gnocchi. I'm ready to make it now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take off the peel and leave the potato. So we just want to peel them. It should be pretty easy to peel. The peeling should just come off, and I'm just going to cut them in half. Kind of cool them down a little bit faster. I want to do that. There we go. Cool them down faster. We just want the peel. I'll flip these over and see if I really need to hold on to it. But I'm just going to kind of give it a mash, just like that. Okay. And we're just going to kind of scrape that peeling off. You see what? That just came right off. Right off. Still nice and hot. Now save these peelings, put them in that bag. I've been telling you guys about my vegetable broth. You want to save any vegetables that you use, pieces, doesn't matter. Rinse the vegetables off, stick them in a Ziploc bag, throw them in the freezer. So these are going to be saved for the freezer. Get all the skins off. Loosen them up. Some potato in there. There. Pick that up. Just want the skin off. Give me back my potato. After we're done peeling, you might want to put some gloves on. I think I might want to put some gloves on this time. I've made them I don't know how many times. It does get kind of messy, just because there's a lot of things going on. So that's your choice. You want to use your gloves, use your gloves. If you don't have to. If you don't got none, well then you ain't got no choice. So you do what you got to do. Oh, these are so tricky sometimes. It's just because it's hot. Let's go over here. Now it's probably cool enough just to peel off. It's not too hot, but not too cold. So me being impatient, that's probably norm. You know, a lot of people get impatient, so I don't feel so bad because I was born this way. But let's see if I can just peel that right off. There you go. Just pull it right off. And it's coming off. Slowly but surely they're coming off. Almost there. There we go. Cha-ching! All right. Thank you for the hot pad. It comes in handy all the time, and I use it all the time. There's my stash for vegetable broth anyway. I have a this tool is like a rice or mashed potato ricer. That's what they call it. I used to use this here strainer. I'll put it in there. I put it in there, put a spoon in there, and then I just mash it up until they're all done. Now you got what you got. So if that's what you got to do, then do it. And I don't do that no more because I invested in a little rice one, or potato ricer. Anyway, I think that's what they call it. I'll take a couple of these and move my big stash out the way. show you what I'm going to do now. I'm going to put that in there, that through there, and we're just going to squeeze. Like that. Make them smaller, easy, more manageable. Half of that potato. Do that again. Just keep going through all of your potato, making it smaller. Don't put too much in here because you're not going to have the strength to mash it through that. So I'm just going to put all of this in there. This stuff's already like pre-mashed. I just kind of, sort of, because I was impatient. So, but that's okay. Okay. So this is going to make a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. We're going to turn this into dough. That's basically what gnocchi is a potato. It's a potato dumpling, basically. And it is combined. Get rid of this. I'm done with that. It is combined with cheeses. I'm just going to give it a quick mince here, just to make it easier for me to work with. Now you could use this if you want. If you got one of these, use it. If you don't, it's okay. You see what I'm doing with my knife. Just give it a quick mince. Be a whole lot easier to start putting our stuff in there. Okay. Give me a bowl. Give me a bowl. I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands, get some gloves on, and I'll be right back. Got my gloves on. I'm going to take some of our flour that I've got here in this cup. I'm going to add a little bit of flour. Take my salt. I'm going to add a half a tablespoon of my salt. I use ground pepper, freshly ground pepper. And yes, you need to use pepper. So if you don't like the black pepper, you can get white pepper. White pepper is a little more, it's a little finer, so you won't even notice it as much, but you'll get the flavor out of it. But you won't have the benefits that you have of freshly ground pepper. Unless you buy, I don't even know where to find that white peppercorn. But usually it comes like this. You'll have your peppercorns that all come black. So, and it's okay. You use what you got. Like I said, some people have white pepper. It's just flavor and color wise. Some people don't like that nitty grit. I kind of have a fixation, or not fixation, but I like black pepper. I don't like it in big chunks. I like all my ingredients, or I should say, I like all my spices not to have a bite to them. I don't want to bite into the spice. And that's just me. So I'm going to mix this up in here, just like that. I'm going to add it on the top of my potatoes. Finish adding my flour. There you go. I'm just going to give it a mix, a little toss. Kind of get in there. Get all that. Let me get my tater peels out of the way. There you go. Alright, then I'm just going to add my cheese to it. And I'm going to chop this up just a little bit, get it a little bit finer. So it's easier to mix in my dough. I guess I could have shredded it up finer if I wanted to, but it's okay. It depends. It's up to you. However you do it, it's going to make a good dough no matter what. You're going to have to mix and mix and mix and mix this dough. So be prepared to spend a little bit of time mixing up this dough. Let me set this to the side. I'm just going to keep mixing, keep chopping, get those big pieces. Now make sure all that cheese has kind of just gone through all that flour too. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, I'm just going to make a little hole in the middle. Grab my egg. Let's see, give me a good egg here. Nice big chicken egg from the farm. Can't get no fresher than that. Look how beautiful that is. Ah, beautiful. And I'm just going to give a little bit of a stir. Fork. Mix it up in here. That's pretty much, this is your dough. You're just going to keep blending it all together until you have a log, a big, huge log. You don't add nothing else to it. It will become a nice, smooth dough. That's what you were looking for. So all these crumbles are going to become nice and smooth. You like playing with Play-Doh? You ever played with Play-Doh when you was a kid? This is probably the most satisfying. You get to just blend it in your hand. Just mix it. Let's play with it. Just get it going. If it's too wet, we're just going to add a little bit of flour just to get it to come together a lot better. Oh, let that egg yolk get that flour in there and just let it do its thing. Get that in there. Put all your stuff together. So I like my little scraper because I can get all the pieces and nothing gets stuck to the board. See, if I didn't have the scraper, I'd have this little stuff right here and I can get all that out. So if you want to invest in a little scraper, it'd be a good investment. Oops. Like that, it's just coming all together, just like a little ball of dough. And you just want to keep working at it like regular dough, flour dough. Get all the little pieces in there. So you'll be able to see the salts sometimes in there. You'll be able to see it's pretty mixed up in there though. I see see a lot of pepper in there just because it's black. But if you use the white, you won't be able to see anything. And some people have color texture that they don't like, where they have a, you know, they prefer certain colors over the other ones. They wouldn't be able to take this pepper looking in here because it's not as pleasing to the eye, I should say, as the white pepper would be. You wouldn't be able to see it anyway, so. So yeah, we're just mixing it up in there, just like that. Just mix it. Start sticking. I'm going to add a little bit of flour, just a little, to my board. Get all that moisture, all the rest of that egg. It's just making it wet. Needs to be a little bit more drier in there. There you go. It's going to take a little bit of time to get this dough just right, because we're going to make logs out of it, and then we're going to cut it up into cubes, and then we're going to make little bitty pretty little noodles, or I say dumplings, basically. It's not really a noodle, like little mini dumplings. And we just keep working with it. Can be worked with into a log. It looks pretty smooth. I mean, it's just so pretty. That looks really good. Look at that. It's all coming together like a log. Just like a log should be. Look how pretty that is. Okay. So I'm just going to make it like a little loaf, so it's easier to manage, more manageable. Okay. There we go. Take my little cutter, and take your knife if you like, it's up to you. And I'm just going to cut probably, I would say, that's one, maybe like half an inch. Half an inch is all you need. Now this is going to make a lot. You don't think it'd be a lot, but it's a lot. When you only got 2 people, that's a lot. So we used to have a full family of, well, I had a family of 6. I have 4 stepkids and 2 of my own. And I've only had, 1, 2, 3 at a time. So not all of them are living in the same house. So, but I had 3 living in the same house at a time. So let's see. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you with this little one. I'm gonna take this and move this. Come on. To the side. There you go. Take the little side one and I'm just gonna mash it down a little bit. Start rolling it up. Roll it up. Just like a little log. Just like that. Now I would say visualize it to be bigger than a crayon. But, let's see, it's already started thin on that side, so I'm just going to pull that out. What can I compare this to? my hand. I would say it's almost as big as my little fingers in here. Pass that a little. It's up to you, whatever size you want to do. But if you ain't never done this before, clean this off. Just gonna do probably, you know, inch squares all the way down. Like and there's our little dumplings. So you have a choice. You can leave it like this. Leave them just like this. Put them in the soup just like that. Or you can roll them out. And I'm going to show you how to roll them out because it's nothing like playing like in dough. There's just nothing to it. There's just nothing like it. You know, you just, I don't know, it's just a kid thing or what, but I like it. If you don't like it, you can go to the store. They have them at the store. You can buy them. You're going to need like 16 ounces, give or take. It's up to you how much you want to put in your soup, how many you need, or whatever. I'm just going to take my fork now, flour my fork a little bit. And I'm going to use my fork basically to make them pretty. So I'm just going to take it, roll it over my fork, and it's going to make a little imprint on them. And don't push too hard, otherwise you're going to push it right through the fork. Just lightly give it a little push. And if you see, it's going to come up with this little imprint, and you just kind of squeeze it together. It comes in like a little circle, and you have the little prongs on there. You don't have to put it in the flour each time, but it's just there so it doesn't stick. We're just going to roll them off. Just like that. Roll them off. And that's what you need to do. Don't flour them too much because the flour is going to make them get all cakey. But you want to put them in a pan with wax paper, aluminum foil, whatever you can get that's non-sticking. Put them on there, put them in the freezer, freeze them, and then put them in a bag. Freeze them in little parts. You don't want to try to freeze them touching each other. So this will make a lot, as you can see, just from that one little piece. Just gonna keep rolling until I have enough to put in my water, or for how many people that you need. And you can cook these boiling water. It's going to take about 2 minutes to cook in boiling water, and they'll float to the top when they're ready. Then you take them out. You can add melted butter on there, melted butter with a little bit of garlic salt. Eat them just like that if you like. You could put some red sauce in there. Put them in the red sauce, spaghetti sauce. Then you can put them with your meat on top if you like, with meat. If you're vegetarian, of course you're not going to do the meat, so, but I'm just going to run these over just like that. As you can see, to show it to you again. See those little ridges? That's what's coming out on them. Let them sit there. That's our noodles. That's how you make a batch of noodles. Or batch of dumplings. I keep wanting to say noodles. My batch of dumplings. And they'll get poofy, but these are so soft. It's like a cloud. You just, you know it's there, but and it's just like barely there when you bite into it. It's so nice. It's really enjoyable texture to do. So I'm gonna go over and get my boiling water ready, and I'm gonna do a little bit more, and then I'm gonna show you how to do it on the stove and what it's gonna look like. Well, I've got my pan of boiling water. And I'm just gonna set my gnocchi in there. Real easy. And I'm just gonna show you what they look like when they be cooking. Take have a spoon like that or not. Go grab my spoon. Slotted spoons, all you need. Not real fancy. Just kind of give it a little toss so they don't stick to the bottom. And we already salted them, so don't really need to salt the water. If you were to salt the water, they would come out really salty, and you don't want that because you already did it. And you put it in there with the noodle or with the dough. So I turned this on medium, or I turned it down. It was on high, and I turned it down to medium. I'm just going to let these finish medium high. We're just going to let these finish cooking. 2 minutes, and they should be done. Now I'm just going to grab some butter and some garlic salt. Butter, a little bit of garlic salt, and maybe even a little bit of onion powder. If you like a little spice, you can put a little Creole seasoning in it. That'll give it a little kick. That's up to you. Right now, I just think butter and garlic and onion powder. Oh, that's going to be so good. Just to give it a little bit of something, something. A bit of flavor. So I'm just going to put, let's see, I'll heat all of that butter out. Probably just going to cut half of the butter. Use all that butter. Use half of that, whatever that was. Put that in there. In the microwave. Let's see. See what 10 seconds is gonna do. See how 10 seconds turns out. I don't know if you can see, but they're starting to float. It don't take too long. They're gonna be done. And then it's time to eat. It's real quick. The butter is not melting. I think it's good. I'm gonna put it in for another 20 seconds. But they're starting to float. They're starting. What it looks like now. Yep, butter is melted. Get this open. Be nice. Oh, man. We'll scoop around that anyway. Alright, I'm not even worry about the top. I'm gonna pull the whole thing off. I've got, what is this? Half a teaspoon? I'm not even gonna use that. I'll probably use a quarter teaspoon salt. Garlic salt is very potent, so you don't need a lot of it. I'm probably gonna use quarter teaspoon. Yeah, I'll use quarter teaspoon. Onion powder as well. I'm going to use a little fork to kind of give it a little bit of oomph. Remember, this is going to glaze the noodles, so you don't need a lot. But you do need it to take that salt. You need that salt to kind of, you don't want the crunch of the salt. You don't want it to dissolve in there. My noodles are floating. Not floating as good as I like them to float, but they will float in a second. It's starting to get. Start to all come up to the top. I have a few stragglies in there. Now I had them on this burner and I moved them over to that burner, so it kind of has a little fluctuation with the heat. But for the most part, they're cooking. They're starting to float. They're getting good on that. And just give them a minute. Just gotta be patient. It's very hard for me to do. They're all floating. They're all floating up in the middle. So these are done. And I'm just going to taste one just to make sure. Put that in my sauce. Get a little bit of a taste. It's like a cloud. I mean, I explain it. It's so soft, so tender. Just, it's hard to believe you're even eating anything. But they're there. Take them out. Put them in my sauce. A little butter sauce here that I've got. Give it a mix. Turn this heat off. I'll be wasting my heat. Okay, stirred them up. You can get all fancy if you want to. Put a little parsley in there if you want to get it all pretty, but it's going in my belly, so I ain't even worried about that. So here you have homemade gnocchi. Hope you guys enjoy it. If you've never made gnocchi before, you won't regret it. I'm going to use the rest of my gnocchi that I've got over here, sitting over here. I'm going to make some gnocchi soup. So if you all want to visit my other video, gnocchi soup, you'll learn how to use the noodles to put it into your soup and make a very, very good gnocchi soup. Or chicken and gnocchi soup. It's so good. So either go after this, you can go over there and check out my gnocchi soup video. But you guys go ahead and enjoy this. Love you guys. Thanks for watching.